Morning, folks. Just came back here to check this back pasture, and I had a bull just busted up my gate. I just brought him back over. These two here, this number 43 to the left and number 40 to the right. Number 40 was the one who tore it up. He went through here and busted it up. So I've got this hay field back here. I'm waiting on it to dry out so we can cut and bale this hay field. But I guess he didn't want to wait anymore. He wanted to go after it. So hopefully in the next few days, we're supposed to have 10 days without any rain. Hopefully it'll dry up enough that I can get back here and get this hay up, and then I'll turn all these cows out back here on this field. But I'm not gonna put up with this guy. He just bought himself a quick trip to the butcher shop, because that there, I gotta buy a new gate and replace that, and once he's busted it up once, he'll bust it up again. He'll feel as if he can go through whenever he wants. So I just brought him back over here, but the next few days I'll load him up and we'll get him moving on to the butcher shop. Here comes the other boys. They hear my voice. They want to come see what I'm doing. They're just a bunch of big old nosy babies. I hear you, buddy. Yeah, he's just talking away. Well, he might just be happy to see his brother, because he's been gone over there probably a couple of days. I don't know when he busted it up. Might have been a day or two now that he busted through. But the grass is always greener. We have grass on this side, water on this side, but he still wanted to go over there, get into my hay field. Yeah, he probably was happy to see his brother. He's heading straight on over to him. Yeah, yep. He's like, hey, where you been, boy? I ain't see you for a few days. But we're gonna call the butcher shop and see how soon we can get an appointment to get him put in. Get some steaks, some burgers, and some ground beef out of him. We're not going to tolerate the bad behavior. Hey, buddy. Hey, big boy. That's a big, handsome one. That fly control seems to be working. They're not full up of flies. Hey, buddy. He's like, I don't want to sniff on you today. So I like to see that they're not overrun by flies the way they were previously. So I put out some fly control for them, and that seems to be working real well. So this is the fly control that I've purchased. Got it from Home Depot. And I'll put this out around the farm. I'll put some more out here today. And let me show you one. It's a pretty gross, but I put this one out about 2 weeks ago. And you can see here that it's just filled right up with flies. So it works real well. And the cows, you can see, they're not laid in flies. You know, so that's really good. They're not covered up in flies. There's some flies. There's little flies on this mama here, but again, her back is not rolling in flies. So that works real well. They come up here and hang out and lay down, and the flies just run to the bag. So that's a good little thing to do. Now this one here, she has more flies on her. So I also have some spray on. I'll be doing some spray on from time to time. But I find that these bags should work really well. Here's Poppy. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy, I didn't give you a bottle for the morning. So I don't have anything for you right now. I'll give you a bottle later on. I'll also give you that final antibiotic shot later on to clear up that navel situation. But there's still some flies on them, but nowhere near what was on them before. I mean, their backs would normally be laid in flies, and now you can see they're pretty clear. So this morning I took my truck to the dealership. My transmission fluid was running a bit hot, so I know that normally means that it's time to do a transmission fluid flush. So I took it into them. They said it's going to be 3 to 4 hours. So instead of sitting there in the waiting room for 3 or 4 hours, I had my wife bring me home, and I said I'll just do some work around here, and then when they call, I'll run back to go pick up the truck. So we're gonna load up some of these cubes, take them out to the cows, put out another fly control over at the other pasture. We'll give these guys a bag. Take 2 bags over, one to the bulls, one to the other mama cows at the other pasture, and put out a fly control out there. I'll look for see how many flies are on those other mamas, because I have not been able to put a fly control out there, but we'll do that today. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this plastic wrapper off. What I found through the years, the plastic wrapper works great to keep it all together, but it also captures moisture, and your bottom part of the pallet will get mildew real fast. So I take this wrapper off and allow the bags to breathe and air to flow around it, and that I haven't had any mildew problem when I take the plastic off. Everybody's patiently waiting. What I like to do, I like to open the bag and then go in there and take it to their feed trough. You don't want to be standing up to the feed trough trying to open a bag and they're pushing on you. Again, they won't try to hurt you, but they'll still push on you, just what they do. So let's get on in here and give them a bag. There they are. They're all having fun, but I just busted my mic, so we'll have to see how it does. See, it has a little clip on, but when I lifted that bag, I had that bag close to me and it tore my clip-on part of my mic. So hopefully we'll see how the recording goes. But let's go on over to the other mamas and let's go ahead and get them some feed. Well, how you like them cookies? I came over here to set that fly trap here to their water, because we know they come here every day to drink their water. And with all this rain, it's a mud mess. I had their water at one location and then I moved it over here, hoping that it wouldn't be so bad, because they were getting their literally, stomach deep in the mud. But with all this rain, they're back to it again. But I normally put their feed right here in the corral, and they are probably in the trees. So let's go into the trees and take them some feed. I think there's one now. She probably heard the gator. They know the sound of the gator, and they know that when they hear the gator, that means it's feeding time. So that mama's already come out. You probably can't see. Let me zoom into her. There she is. She's already come out of the trees. She's like, well, hey, I heard you. Where's my food? But once I turn that engine on, start moving, they're all gonna come chasing behind me. I'll give them a bag and a half, and I'll take a half a bag down to the back to those 4 bulls, because a full bag will be too much. See where these mamas are. This one's here, so the others may be somewhere nearby, but let's go look for them. Is over there with her baby. I can see her baby, so I don't want her to go too far from her baby, so I might have to come back and bring her some cubes for herself. Well, let me see where everybody's at. They'll follow me and I'll just go back over there to her. there they are in the distance, just hanging out under the tree, just enjoying the day. This is not everybody. They're probably spread out across the pasture. This is just some of the mamas. Let's go ahead and put some feed out for these girls. Hey, baby. Look, they already know what's going on. They're just sticking their head in it. Let's put some out before everybody gets here. Well, I got bumped around a little because I did not open the bag before they came. I still had the bag closed, and some of the bags, they're really easy to open, but when they're rushing at you, you get a little bit panicked, and you don't really open the bag as quickly as you could. Now there's that other mama with her baby. I think she's a newborn baby, probably within the last 3 or 4 days. So she is a little hesitant of leaving it. She may leave it for the feed, but she's a bit hesitant. So let's go take her some feed so she don't have to get too far from her baby. Yeah, there she is. She doesn't want to get too far away from her baby. This is a good mama. She wouldn't even leave her baby for food. But let's go ahead and give her some directly so she don't have to get too far away from her baby. A little closer to her baby because I don't know what he's doing. He's just standing there. Yeah, he's just standing there. So let me give her some feed and let me check on him, see why he's just standing there like that. So one of the first things I want to do is check her teeth to make sure she's being nursed. And you can see she's been nursed on that one, not the other 3. And like I said, he's only a few days old. So she's being nursed on one teat. Well, let's go see why he is being so lethargic. Hopefully I don't have to go get another bottle to mess with him, but she's a good mama. She's nursing him and she's staying with him. So let's go check on him. Looking at him, his conditioning don't look the best. He's much thinner than I would expect him to be. Well, let's see how he responds to me. Well, he's not moving, but he looks pretty thin. There's a big difference between him and Poppy. Let's see. It's a little girl. Well, she's jogging, so she's got a little bit of energy, but I don't know why she was just standing there like that. That's a little odd. I guess I might have to just get on over here a little bit and keep an eye on them. And see how she's responding. See if she's nursing. Sometimes there's a good mama, but the calf is just as lazy as I'll get out. They won't nurse the way they should. But definitely one of the teats is nursed. And we'll see. We'll keep an eye on her. Let's see what she does. She's getting up under there, but it doesn't look as if she's trying to nurse. But as you can see, this mama is not like the other mama, not Poppy's mama, who has left him and rejoined the herd. She's still isolated with her newborn. So I gave her her own cubes so she can be comfortable and stay away from the herd. But let's go check on the bulls, and we'll keep an eye on this little one over the next few days, see what's going on. She's strong enough to run, she didn't just lay down, but I still don't like the way she looks. But we'll keep an eye on her and see what happens. Good thing is Mama is staying with her. Now let's go run on over here and get to these bulls, give them some cubes, and then we'll take a little ride at the pasture. Well, here they are on the other side of the fence. Yep, we'll go through this gate here. We'll give them the cubes, and then we'll go for a ride. Yep, that's number 40. That's the bad boy who was won himself a trip to the butcher shop. So they're still young, so they're not fully familiar with the gator. The mamas know all about the gator. They hear the gator and they come a running. But these guys are still young. And I don't think I've done a whole lot of feeding with the gator when they were growing up. So they're less than 2 years old. They're what we call yearlings. But let me go there with the bag. They'll know the bag. They'll come chase me once they see the bag. There you go. They like that stuff. And again, you can see on these guys, very little flies. Fly control is working real well. There's a bit more on this big guy, more so on his underbelly. That guy over there, very little flies. So I highly recommend that fly control. This one here, there's not even any flies under his underbelly. So that's good. Before I started using fly control, these guys would be covered up in flies. I'll be spraying them every other week, trying to keep their fly situation under control. But that's number 40 there. I called over to the butcher shop and they said that they can, if I can bring him tomorrow, they can take him. I was surprised it was so quick, because normally, well, in the past, it was several months out. But now, I guess all of that COVID is over and all that COVID madness, so things are a whole lot better. Let me let these boys enjoy themselves. Number 40, your time is numbered. As soon as I can get him loaded up and into the trailer, we'll be heading over to the butcher's. So you get to see how fast that money gets spent. Just like that, that's 3 bags of cubes gone to these guys and gone to everybody. Well, as I was saying with the field, the pasture, by now we would have already had it cut and baled. But with all this rain, that's really set us back. All this rain has really set us back where there's a lot of wet spots. And we'll get 2 or 3 days, no rain, and then here comes the storms again. 3rd, 4th day, some serious storms. So the forecast is now saying we are looking at a 10-day window of no rain. So hopefully, if this can dry up over the weekend, maybe Monday we can start cutting and baling, because I really need to rotate the cows. This is the longest they have been away from this pasture, and the other pastures are smaller, so they're eating it down, and I'm having to feed them hay because they're eating down the smaller pastures so fast. But I really need to get them back here. This pasture back here altogether is right at about 90 acres. It goes on the other side of the trees. And that's the next good thing, is in the trees there's a lot of grass on the ground. They get the grass on the ground, the leaves, the everything. There's going to be a lot in here. Even after we cut and bale, there's a lot that they can still eat, get their weight back, get their conditioning back. Once I move them into here, we'll put the bull on them and get them started, get the process going. But let's take a quick tour and see how the field is looking. You can see all that brown stuff, that's the winter grass that we should have taken with the first cutting. And you can look down in here, you'll start to see that summer grass is starting to come up. So when you look down in it, there's some green coming up under that brown. So we should have already taken off the winter grass already, but hey, we are where we are, and this is what we do.